All right, good afternoon. Real quick with injuries. Izzy's dealing with an illness. He's not going to be at practice today, but he should be back tomorrow. A bunch of guys are limited, and then we're opening up the windows for Wes Schweitzer, Justin Hardy, and then Aaron.
You're opening the Aaron window?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? What will, for stuff, I think that's probably in line with what he's trying to do, but can you just talk a little bit about his recovery in general, the fact that September 11th and now
for Aaron, different than like Hardy and Wes, we're getting those guys ready to play. This isn't so much getting ready to play as much as it is a progression in his rehab. I can get in all the detail with regards to IR designations and all that and where we stand and why we're able to do this. But for Aaron, what he will be doing in practice is no different than what he'd be doing on Field 3 as you guys all watch it. With regards to certain drills and individual, being able to throw it, instead of throwing with staff members, he's throwing with teammates. So there's no added risk to it. There's certain things that he's been cleared for that we're going to allow him to do.
Do you anticipate being able to activate him after the 21 days are up?
We're not there yet because there's still, he's like a lot of guys coming off. They're usually not ready to play football. There's still a little bit of health concern there. And so, you use these 21-day windows to see where they're at. So we're so far away from that. But like I said, the mindset for this is more of a progression in his rehab. And like I said, he's been cleared for functional football activity. He's not cleared to fully play football. And, it's, like I said, part of his rehab progression.
I assume this is sooner than maybe you would have anticipated when the injury happened, though.
I think it's sooner than everybody did. But I think it's a credit to him, I know we're getting caught up in trying to create a narrative around it, but the true narrative is he's old school in the sense that he is driven. Is there motivation to be the first to ever do it? Sure, that's okay. That's his why. That's why it's better than a lot of it's a mentality that I think young guys should be able to grasp to, that he loves this organization. He wants to be with his teammates. He wants to be here. I think he's sacrificed so much already for the organization and himself and his teammates, and he's doing it again. I think it's a testament to who he is as a human. And yeah, obviously there's a little bit of that drive where he wants to prove that it could be done faster than anyone's ever done it before. That's okay. That's just part of his mental makeup. I think he still runs with a chip on his shoulder, and that's the way he lives his life, where he always wants to prove people wrong in terms of doubting them. And he's a special human, and I think his actions are showing and how much he appreciates, I think, this organization and everything around it.
Robert, do you guys view Joe? You guys have to think big picture though about the risk involved if not talking about practice. If he's activated for a game, the risk involved and whether it's worth it, and looking ahead to 2024.
Yeah, everyone's on the same page with regards to what the next steps are and all that stuff. And like I said, this is so different than, like I said, Hardy and Dwayne Brown and anyone else who we opened the window for to return. Yaboa, we've done it. We've got to make a decision on him soon. But with Aaron, like I said, this is more progression in his rehab. And if we get to that 21-day window and he's feeling great, we'll have that discussion then. But right now, it's just a matter of just of him progressing in his rehab.
Robert, there is a fear, I think, across the fan base, across probably the NFL, that he's going to rush his way back. He's going to do this too quick, and the risk of the re-injury is going to say, I'm done, 2024, forget it, I just got hurt again, it's a sign, whatever. Are you guys in the impression that whatever happens this year, he is going to be back in 2024 no matter what?
Yeah, we're under the impression that he'll be back in 24, regardless of what happens. But one thing with veterans, and yeah, I think it's important to know, like the best example I can give is Richard Sherman. These guys just know their body differently. They know their body better than anybody in the world, better than an MRI scan, better than a doctor, better than anything. They just know. And I can give you a story where Sherm played half of 2019 with a torn hamstring and still found a way to get to the field and play because he knows how to play the game. He knows how to position his body. He knows how to get through that stuff in rehab. As it pertains to Aaron, I promise Aaron is not going to do anything that puts himself in harm's way. If he is not healthy to play, Aaron is very, very smart. That's not something he's going to put himself at risk for. With that said, though, he is driven. He is achieving things that have never been achieved with regards to this injury, and it's the progression with regard to rehab. He's on, and I think it's remarkable what he is doing, but he is also smart and being with regards to how fast it's going.
Are you guys continuing on a progression to get him ready to potentially play, whether you are in playoff discussion or not, or for you, is it his return predicated on whether you make the playoffs or not?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like I said, it's I'm not even thinking about 21 days from now. I'm just thinking Atlanta. But those are, if that bridge is crossed, that'll be an organizational decision with him obviously being a big part of that.
Why now? Is there a specific reason why today, opening the window, whereas?
He was cleared. So he was cleared for, like I said, once the doctors cleared him for the next step in his rehab. And look, we're in a position, not to get too technical for everyone, but you're allowed a certain amount of IR designation to returns every year. And we're in a position where we've got a few extras, a few that we won't use at all. So it doesn't harm it doesn't do anything to us roster-wise. We don't have to cut anyone. We don't have to move anyone to the side. And so the technicality, not to get too specific for everyone, but I will, the technicality is he's either doing everything he's cleared for off to the side, as you guys know it, on field 3, or he's doing everything that he's cleared for. So instead of with his team and with his teammates, so instead of throwing to a strength and conditioning coach, he can throw to his teammates. That's the only difference. And so, like I said, if we didn't have the IR designations, then this would be a moot point. There'd be no discussion with regards to it. He'd be off to the side with everybody else. But we just have that ability, that luxury, and thought it would be good for him.
Is there a plan mapped out over the next 21 days to, escalate his activity? Like, next week he'll join team drills, or do you have?
That'll all be on the doctor.
Do you,
But I would assume so.
do you have a message to your team regarding him being back and participating more and gearing up here?
No, I think if I'm a young guy and I'm watching them, I think it's I'd grab hold of that subliminal message, that unspoken word of here's an older man who has nothing to prove. He's already going to the Hall of Fame, and a man who's sacrificing so much of his body, so much of his bank account, so much of everything for an organization because he loves the game of football. And at the end of the day, we are playing a kid's game at a king's ransom, and I think he embodies that.
Can he do individual drills, like when you're throwing to receivers?
I'm not. I know he's been cleared. I don't want to get too specific. I think it's endo, routes on air, and that's about it.
Robert, when you say the doctors cleared him, is that Elitrosh? Is that the Jets team doctors?
I think it's pretty much everybody.
Anything else?
Where are you offensive line-wise? Dwayne Brown, Mekhi Becton?
Working through all that. I feel good about Mekhi getting back this week. Again, with Dwayne Brown, I really like what Carter Warren's been doing. So trying to make sure that we get a chance to see him too. But Dwayne, again, we'll see how this week goes with regards to practice and everything.
Do you anticipate Allen being active on Sunday, or is that something you're still working
Yeah.
through?
Yep.
Thanks, everyone.
Maybe tomorrow we can ask about that.
You speaking tomorrow? What?